Hey folks, Paul Quin here, Saxon, Gilmore and Carraway in the Sessions panel, part 4, legal tips. Hope you're all still washing your hands, taking care of yourself, social distancing, all that good stuff. I wanted to follow up on the copyright stuff with some stuff that's related, but it's kind of tangential. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the role of the producer. While the internet allows many of you to be completely self-sufficient from home, you know there will come a time when you need to hire a producer. And I want to talk about what the role of the producer is and how those deals are usually structured. Of course, this is kind of skating along the surface, but having that basic knowledge will at least give you something to move on from. So traditionally, the role of a producer came from the artist and repertoire department of a record label. And they were the people responsible for signing acts, and they would then produce their records in the studio. The role of a producer might be to hire the right musicians, to deal with union deals, to make sure the split sheets are correct, to arrange the song, and to give artistic and creative vision, a final product to how the songwriter envisioned their song would be. The producer often adds a lot, and that's why producers get well paid. And in fact, depending upon the success of that producer, a producer can be paid anything from a small amount up front per track to a considerable amount per track, and they get a percentage of mechanical royalties at the end. And that percentage, remember, comes out of the artist's share, regardless of who hires the producer, whether it's the label or whether it's the artist. Now, I will give you one piece of quick $1 million legal advice, which is make sure when you do your deal with the producer, especially if you are signed, to have something in there that says you are not responsible for paying the producer's royalties until after the label has recouped and the label is paying you. Otherwise, what can happen is you can end up not being recouped, but still having to stroke checks for thousands of dollars to your producer. So that's the traditional role of the producer, but times have changed. We find ourselves in a situation, especially in hip hop and rap music, where we have a producer that has a different role. Because the only thing you can copyright is lyrics and melody, you often have a situation where the entire track that the artist is rapping or singing over the top of has been prepared by a third party, and that's somebody that describes themselves as a producer. That producer is really a part of the creative process and gets paid differently. Usually there is not a per fee production price, but more a sharing of royalties as if the producer were part of the act. Often in such cases, that producer is entitled to a 50% share of the copyright. Now, that is the case when you work with somebody who is established. I will suggest to you that when you work with somebody who is less established, that you pay them less. You don't want them to build their credibility on top of yours. In an ideal world, you should build your credibility on top of theirs, especially if you are paying them. So there's some little thoughts on being a producer and some thoughts on working with a producer. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you haven't gone stir crazy yet. And like I told you before, keep practicing and keep playing.
Dom Famularo here, the Sessions panel. This is so exciting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click the subscribe button to be a part of what we're doing. The views help us tremendously. All of your comments, we read them and react to them. This is incredible. The support you're giving us is great. The Sessions panel. We'll see you real soon.